If you love home, and even if you don't, there's nothing quite as cozy, as comfortable, as delightful as that first week back. That week, even the things that would irritate you, the alarm whining from some car at 3 in the morning, the pigeons who come to clutter and cluck on the windowsill behind your bed when you're trying to sleep in, seem instead reminders of your own permanence, of how life, your life, will always graciously allow you to step back inside of it, no matter how far you have gone away from it or how long you have left it. And in these moments, almost a week back home, you'll wonder why you leave so often, and you will wonder whether, after the next year's obligations are fulfilled, you ought to not just stay here for a period where you belong. A Passage from a Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. What makes a place a home? Is it the people living there? Is it what fills the home? Maybe it's the memories made in a certain place that change an accommodation to a home. And maybe it's all those things. For me, home is where you laugh so hard it's no longer audible. It's hot pot with friends and game nights with family. It's eating cereal at the kitchen counter at 2 a.m. It's the adventures you can go on from the comfort of your couch. It's the familiar sound of neighbors. It's quiet morning journaling. It's coffee runs, niche restaurants, and the smell of freshly cooked rice. It's throw blankets that are hair too short of covering your toes while watching a scary movie. It's mismatched mugs and missing remotes. It's difficult conversations. It's arguments that turn into fights that turn into tears. It's refuge, your little corner of the world. Whatever home is, wherever home may be, I know it's the place for me. Hey everyone, it's Job. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for indulging me in my little creative endeavor. I just really wanted to verbalize and, make something that truly encapsulates how I felt while making this collection of washi tapes for this shop update. I've had a very heavy heart regarding the subject of home because I'm one of those people that is so, sentimental about place and memories and making sure I never forget them. And I think that's why journaling has been so important for me, because it kind of immortalizes a certain place, a certain time in word form that I can always, go back to and revisit. And the home collection of these washi tapes and PET tapes all kind of touch on my love for home and the different homes that I've created for myself and have lived in over the past few years. I think this whole journaling journey actually started when I moved to Korea, and I think most of you have actually kind of followed my journey where it started when I was journaling in Korea and documenting my life there. And I owe it to that experience and my home at that time, which was in Korea, for a lot of what has happened in my life and what has unfolded, because this whole YouTube channel, Instagram, everything, this whole shop, my creative endeavors have never probably wouldn't have awakened if I didn't relocate and make my own home elsewhere in the world. And so this home collection kind of draws inspiration on that. So there are 5 tapes in general, or in total. The first one is the green torn edges, which is entitled Moffat, which is the name of my childhood home. This is where I kind of grew up on Moffat Street, and I wanted to kind of tie that with one of my favorite colors, green. So it's a torn edges design, so it looks like torn paper, and I've done this before with craft paper, and I've always loved the idea of torn paper and how it looks. And so that's the first tape. The second one is also a torn edges tape, but it is in blue and gray and black hues with different papers, but both the papers that have the paint on it, the green and the blue, are all hand painted and scanned by me. The blue one is called Minru, which was the street where our first home was in Canada on Minoru. It holds like a sentimental place in my heart because Canada will always be home. It's the home that I've always remembered in my memories when I look back. I don't remember much of our home in the Philippines when I was, 0 to 4 years old, but I can definitely remember the home on Minoru. So that's why there's one tape called Minoru. It's the blue one, and it kind of goes in with my love for blue when I was a child. It's not my favorite color anymore, but it was one of the colors that I identified as my favorite color as a child, and I thought that would be a good kind of reference when kind of thinking about my first home in Canada. And then the last washi tape is called Memories of Home, which is just a collage washi tape, which has a lot of elements that are part of my current home. So it has a little scanned piece of lavender from the garden where I teach. So we have a school garden, and there's a sprig of some lovely lavender from where I teach, and there are Canadian postage stamps, and there's a little Easter egg there. There's actually a scanned vintage ad for the city that I live in, so I thought that was cool. And the main star of this, I guess, shop update is actually the PET tapes. I've loved PET tapes in 2021. It's one of my favorite kind of stationery supplies now, and I feel so honored to be able to have manufactured my own. This was like a really difficult feat because I was having a hard time finding a place to get it made, but I'm so happy with the quality of both the washi and PET tapes. These are all manufactured in Taiwan by a company that is really known for manufacturing washi and PET tapes. So I was in really good hands. But the PET tapes that I designed, there are 2 designs in total. The first one is called There's No Place Like Home, which is a film PET tape. And this tape actually has some really sentimental photos actually from my travels and my home in Korea and my home in Canada. There's pictures, film pictures actually, to be exact. These are all film photographs that I've taken, and there's some Polaroids that I've taken from my home, my various homes that I've had, both in Korea and in Canada. The film that I actually used for this PET tape, I scanned my own film negatives and superimposed, the photos to fit into the different frames in the negatives. It was really fun creating it, and I hope you can kind of, I guess, try and figure out which location each film photograph is taken at, because I tried to mix them up and try to fit them where they naturally kind of fit in. And yeah, this one was super meaningful. I know I love like film PET tapes. I actually have a few, but I really wanted one that was like catered to my aesthetic, because I also like black and white film as well. And I also made them in opaque, like an opaque PET tape, so they're not like translucent, so it's cool to layer with them and have them be their own standalone piece in like a collage. And then lastly, we have My Place PET tape, which is a collage PET tape. I think this one is one of my favorites. I feel like I can say that for everything, but this one, I made a whole bunch of mini collages. I think there's like 30 or more. And yeah, this was really cool to make because I got to exercise some creative juices and use ephemera that I've been hoarding from my time living in Korea, and vintage ephemera that I found in my city, which is super fun. And it really kind of just encapsulates like what I'm all about in terms of journaling. And if there's one that I'm super proud of, I think it's the My Place PET tape, because I don't know, it's just like a culmination of everything that I love in journaling in in a 1 PET tape. For those who don't know what PET tape is, it's just a clear plastic tape. Mine are printed with like opaque ink, so there's a white ink layer, so it looks opaque. But there are aspects in, I think, the collage PET tape, the My Place PET tape, that have translucent parts, which you can use to layer with the existing collages. And they have a release backing, so you can fussy cut out like the thing that you want to add to your spread, and then cut it out, and then take off the backing, and then you can use it in like a collage or whatever you're going to use it for. But yeah, I really enjoyed making all of these tapes. All of the tapes are 10 meters except for the collage PET tape. It's actually 10 meters and 10 centimeters extra, because it's actually, no, I think it's 11 meters actually. No, it's 11 meters because there was 10 extra centimeters per circulation. I'm just going into like technical jargon now, but the circulation of a PET tape means like how long the design goes for. So the design goes for 1 meter and 10 centimeters for the collage PET tape, and so you get 11 meters instead of 10 meters. So they're both like really long tapes. All of them are all really long tapes, but one is particularly long, which is the collage PET tape. But I've been rambling for too long. Let's actually journal with all of these items. Let's journal. So I wanted to work on a 2 days on one spread, or a day per page spread today, just because I am kind of sick of a spread per day, because for December daily I was making a lot of spreads for each day, and it was getting a little overwhelming. And I realized that I do enjoy making a little page per day spread because it's compact. You're only working with one little page for your day, especially if you're using a traveler's notebook. It's really easy to fill up a page, and I thought this would be more manageable and will allow me to kind of play around with different aesthetics for different pages. So for the first page on the left hand side, we have the Minoru torn edges, blue torn edges tape on the edge, just because I think it looks really cool when it's paired on the edge. It looks like someone's torn some paper and just stuck it onto the spread. And then I'm fussy cutting out some of the mini collages, because I want to use some of these mini collages from the My Place PET tape. And I am using my new Himikuri calendar. I'm so happy to have finally tried the new and like real legit Himikuri calendar, because last year I was using one from the site that shall not be named, aka AliExpress. But this one I got a legitimate Himikuri calendar. If you're new around here, the Himikuri calendar is just like this small daily calendar that is kind of printed on sticky notes, which is super cool. And a lot of people like to use it in journaling spreads, and I like to use it in my journaling spreads, and it's really nice to actually have because the quality is fantastic. But I anchored that little Himikuri date with a mini collage from my PET tape. It's still kind of wild to say my PET tape, but yes, it is, my PET tape. And then I added the little My Place typewritten like little quote thingy from the My Place collage PET tape over top of the Himikuri calendar. And then on the bottom of the page, I wanted to add a little mini collage, so I used just the small strip of the black and white film strip from the film PET tape, and I think I'm gonna add a dot sticker later. I can feel it, or maybe a dot marker right there. I actually used a new dot marker from Kuretake. This is the clean color dot, and then I have a little photo of me, a little mirror selfie, and then to anchor that little photo that I printed out, I just used a tiny piece of the Moffat green torn edges. And I'm using I feel like one of my, it's not really a secret, best kept secrets, well, open secret. It's this dollar spot or like Michael's Isle of Doom stamp set. It's just like really, really tiny letters that are sans serif, which I really like, and I think I just stamped booster. And this whole spread has like a bluish and gray and brown theme, and I used a I think this is a Pentel sign pen in the baby blue color to script out Wednesday. And then instead of using a fountain pen today, I just wanted to use the Zig Clean Color Dot marker. Most of these markers are dual tipped, so I use the fine tip to actually do the journaling. And it's actually a really, really fine tip. And I feel like I've been enjoying this because when I use the dot marker, it's kind of nice to tie in that same color in the journaling, so I just decided to use that instead of using my other fountain pens or gel pens, and it was a nice like change of pace. I feel like right now in January my journaling mood has been kind of trying to shake off the December daily style of journaling that I've kind of created for myself, where it's like really grand, lots of tip-ins and lots of colors. I'm trying to go with like maybe 3 colors max per page, so it's not too overwhelming, and I'm trying to get into stamping more, but now we're working on the right hand side of the spread. As you can see, I'm actually working over top of these spreads that I made for the Etsy listings, and you probably saw some of these video b-roll clips when I was explaining the tapes earlier, but I actually peeled off one of the Memories of Home washi tape strips that I've had on the right hand side of the spread, just because I thought it was too busy with having 3 of those strips, so I just kept the 2 strips there. And again, I just kept them on the edge of the spread. For this one, I wanted to just keep that little peak of the Memories of Home washi because I wanted to parallel the left hand side of the spread on the prior page that we were working on. And to cover up my brush lettering, I'm just using this library card that I have purchased, I think, from Urban Source on Main Street in Vancouver. Urban Source is a really cool stationery shop. I kind of want to bring you guys there next time. It's actually all recycled products or donated products, so I'm pretty sure someone donated these, and so I purchased it for a really cheap price, and you're still recycling, which is super cool. It's giving a new life to these like stationery items. I also went in again with my own PET tape, so I went with a colored tape or a colored film strip from my film PET tape on the top of the spread, and then I have 2 collages that I cut out of the collage PET tape, and I'm still so obsessed because it's so much easier to create collages now, just because I have collages that I would normally make pre-made for me. So I used 2 of those. I used the one that has like a coffee motif, and then I wanted to kind of complement the brown film strip on the top, so there's more like brownish, yellowish, and orange tones in this one, and there are some blue tones in the photo. And again, I used a himikuri to use as a date, so the himikuri tearaway calendar sheet that I talked about earlier, I also use it on this side of the spread to kind of tie it all in together, since it's still in one giant spread, but it's still 2 individual pages. And I think I tried to use similar elements on the left hand side of the spread, on the right hand side of the spread, to kind of bridge everything together, but it's still distinctly 2 different days, just because there's kind of 2 different color palettes. And then again wanted to use this alphabet stamp set again from Michael's Dollar Spot. I actually didn't even purchase this. This was given to me by my friend Kat, and I've been using it for like years. It's one of my favorite like alpha stamp sets, and I can't wait to kind of find one that has numbers because I really like this font. It's just a very basic sans serif font. But yeah, I just stamped Snow Day because that day it actually started snowing pretty heavily, and it was a snow day for work as well. And then I just put a brush lettered like day of the week, which was Thursday, and then I put part A because I journaled in the morning and I knew there was going to be more things that were going to happen in the afternoon. So I only journaled for the morning here because I wanted to go into more in-depth writing for the afternoon. So this is like part 1 of the spreads. I never really do this, but I really wanted to start my journaling for this day, so I started it right away. And again, I use the same like clean colored dot marker that I used to add the dots on this side of the spread. So there's like, I think only 2 brown dots that I used, and then I use that same marker for the journaling. But that is it, folks. Thank you again for indulging me in this video. It's like a little bit of like a video essay, video, journal entry, and my regular journal with me videos, as well as like an introduction to all of the new things in the shop. Be sure to check out the Jobsjournal shop down below. I'll leave the link down below, but these tapes are now in stock in the store and you can shop them now. So I would really love it if you could check it out. Even if you don't purchase anything, just check out all of the listings and take a look at the photos, because I really worked a lot on it, and it's like my little baby that I've been waiting to launch actually last year, but with shipping complications and whatnot, I wasn't able to launch it last year. So in 2022, this is like my first like big shop update, so I would love it if you could just check out the shop. Okay everyone, I'll see you next time, and I love you so much. Bye bye.